action. Derrick Thomas, linebacker, Nebraska. Next up, Pittsburgh Steelers.
They should be this easy every year, but I think the easiness stops right now. So Tampa Bay is going with Derrick Thomas, the guy who can play both linebacker, but probably will be used from the pass-rushing defensive end position. Derrick Thomas, outside linebacker, Nebraska, weighs over 250 pounds. His first step just gets him off the line of scrimmage and into the backfield almost immediately. He's almost impossible to handle one-on-one. 98 tackles, 53 solo tackles last year. Tommy, the guy is huge.
Highly aggressive, huge player who could maybe be a swing player, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, might be a down defensive lineman. This guy can do a lot of things for a ball club, and I think that his aggressiveness is something that's going to add to the Tampa Bay Buccaneer attack.
Well, the Buccaneers, Joe, have tried to be getting some players together. It hasn't shown much in the win and loss column. Last year they made a good #1 draft pick with Paul Gruber. Offensive line. This year you like this pick?
I think I like this pick. I think the thing about Derrick Thomas is you got Derrick Thomas almost cast in the same mold of Freddie Joe Nunn, who's with the Phoenix Cardinals now. He's tried to play outside linebacker. He's a little too big to try and cover backs out of the backfield. This is the kind of guy who's going to wind up going down, I'm sure, most of the time in Tampa Bay's defense, and they need that. A lot of teams need the outside rushers, but this one's going to help Tampa Bay make another step. Now, if they can teach Vinny how to throw to the guys with his shirts on, that would make it another step that would help them a lot, too.
They're working very hard on that, Joe. We have that just in from one of our sources. If you've watched the 10 drafts that we've done here on ESPN, I think it's safe to say, and Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong over there, we've never had 6 first-round picks go in about 20 or 21 minutes. Expect the breaks to go on pretty soon as Pittsburgh is thinking between perhaps Worley and Ryson, and then we'll find out if San Diego makes the trade. Pittsburgh is next. San Diego follows. We'll be back. ESPN's coverage of the 1989 NFL Draft is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. By Bud Light, everything else is just alike. And by Levi's Dockers. If you're not wearing Dockers, you're just wearing pants.
ESPN's coverage of the National Football League Draft continues for the 10th consecutive year with the Marriott Marquis in New York City. Good afternoon, I'm Bob Lee. We're waiting on Pittsburgh now, the 7th selection in the first round. They've got approximately 10 minutes. We have had a machine gun start to this first round. Troy Aikman, Tony Mandarich, Barry Sanders, Derrick Thomas, Deion Sanders, and Derrick Thomas taken quickly. We still, of course, have that rumor percolating about a possible trade sending Jim McMahon to San Diego. We wait to see what happens with that. We will have a chance to analyze what has been a scattershot open. But now, let's check in Las Vegas with Al Bernstein, standing by with 2 of the men who have been among the top 6 selected. Good morning, Al.
Well, lots of excitement. Hi, Bob. How are you? Well, it was appropriate. The Kansas City Chiefs needed some linebacking help. They called the right place, the Aladdin Hotel here in Las Vegas, for Derrick Thomas, and it's appropriate because he won the Butkus Award for Best Linebacker of the Year. Let's bring Derrick in if we can. And Derrick, not really a surprise to you. You probably expected to go right there.
Well, I had hoped to go right there, and I heard some rumors that they might take Barry Sanders this morning, and I got kind of shaky, but I was all right once I got in here.
How are you going to fit in with the Kansas City Chiefs? A new regime, a new coach, a new general manager, a new beginning for everybody.
Well, I think I fit in very well because they run a scheme similar to the one that I ran in college, and I think I can execute and do real well soon.
Well, you did well in college, 27 sacks. You'll get a few more with the Chiefs.
Well, I hope to exceed 27, but if I don't, I think I'll be happy with the number I come up with.
All right, I'm sure they'll be happy with you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Derrick Thomas, the first of the linebackers to go in this draft. Now let's send things over to Andrea Kramer in Winnetka, Illinois.
We are in the home of Steve Zucker in Winnetka, Illinois. A very happy Deion Sanders. The most important thing has already been decided what number he's going to wear. What number is that, Deion?
21. We had to get a 2 in there somewhere, so I think we chose unanimous decision. We wanted 21.
You just said this is your mom sitting next to you. You said she's my very rich mom. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
No more sales. No more nothing now. We get a big house we always been wanting. We get everything we want now.
It looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here. I mean, and plus we have we can see the nice primetime logo already, or what?
Yeah, we got sweatsuits started, jackets started, everything. We got it going on here. Everybody got on jewelry. Even the baby got a little something. We ready now.
Even the baby has jewelry. Your feelings about going to Atlanta, no doubt it was your first preference.
definitely. Atlanta or Tampa Bay. And Atlanta chose me, and I'm very pleased with that decision. I can't wait to get to town with Coach Campbell and get with them fans down there and pack them in there.
When Detroit took the other Sanders, I saw a big grin come across your face.
Man, I was so happy. But I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would ask for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
On layaway, huh? No baseball's leverage there, huh?
No.
What did Marion Campbell, you just got off the phone with him, what did he say to you on the phone, aside just from welcome to Atlanta?
Welcome to Atlanta. He was, he laid it low for the last 3 days, and he knew deep down inside it would work out, and he can't wait till I can get there, and he wants Deion and Primetime to get on that plane.
Well, you just said, tell Marion Primetime's coming to Atlanta, huh?
I want everybody at the airport. I want everybody in Atlanta there. I want a special greeting when I get there.
All right. We'll be back with Deion a little bit later. Let's now go back to Las Vegas.
Well, thank you, Andrea. We are here with Broderick Thomas, the gentleman who was selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the second linebacker to be selected in this draft. And Broderick, you were probably expecting to go right in this area. Are you surprised it was maybe a pick earlier than you thought?
No, I don't think it was a pick early. I think it was right on time. I've been talking to Coach Perkins, and a lot of other people have been very interested, and things went down just as we expected. And I'm very happy to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer right now.
Well, they can use you, to be sure, a lot of inexperience in the linebacking core, but some talk about you being a down end of some sort. What do you think of that talk?
Well, myself, Coach Perkins, and Coach Kynes, we already have talked over these things. I'll be on time. As soon as I get there, I'll be playing outside linebacker.
Okay, well, congratulations on your pick.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Broderick Thomas, he says he's going to be a linebacker. Let's go back to Bob Lee.
And he's had the training. Thanks, El. Deion worried that if Detroit had taken him, he'd make so much money, he'd have to put it on layaway. And when Deion went to Yankee camp, of course, he's playing Double-A minor league baseball. He wanted a single-digit at Yankee camp. Those are tough to come by, but they soon educated him. He ended up with 44 in Fort Lauderdale this year. We're waiting on the Steelers. They've got about 5.5 minutes to go. And it's an important draft. Chuck Noll, with basically a new coaching staff, he remains the head coach. This is a team that through the 70s, through the dynasty, drafted 18 Pro Bowl players. Through the 1980s, as we put the cap on this decade, have drafted only 3 Pro Bowl players. They have some rather definite needs. This, as we understand it, is their only first-round selection. The Mike Merriweather deal, Mel, apparently has not gone down. There had been talk, of course, that Merriweather, if the signing could be accomplished with the Vikings, that they would pick up another first round. Apparently, the holdup there is a $400,000 signing bonus versus a $400,000 interest-free loan. Steelers, this pressure. They've got to select wisely. They took Aaron Jones, Jermani Dawson the first 2 rounds last year, and it worked
What they
out.
really need, they have to decide right now if they want Risen or Grossman or a guy like Worley. I don't know why it's taken them so long. I think Tim Worley would make the most sense there. Last year they missed out by 1 pick on John Stevens, who would have been a great addition. Warren Williams is a good number 2 back. He's not a starter. They need somebody to team with Merrill Hodge, and I think Worley's the man. Risen would make some sense because Brister needs weapons, but I don't know why it's taken so long. I think if I were the Steelers, I would jump at Tim Worley at this spot.
Let's again recap Mike Merriweather, the holdout linebacker from last year. There had been a conditional trade worked yesterday. This would be the deal, and apparently, and the deadline for this deal was midnight, actually the beginning of the draft today, approximately 30 minutes ago. Our understanding of it right now, we understand it did not go down. The assistant general manager for the Vikings flew out to Sacramento last night, try and close the deal with Merriweather, and again, the question was whether he wanted a $400,000 signing bonus, was demanding about $1 million a year, and would have settled for probably $800,000. Less than 4 minutes on Pittsburgh's selection. So apparently this will be the only, and yes, that's the Jeopardy, Final Jeopardy theme song as the time counts down on the Steelers. This is the only first-round selection the Steelers will have. The Steelers are up, then San Diego is in the hole. We will see if the McMahon trade becomes a reality. There's a spot of tension as we catch our breath. Step
I went to my apartment and I couldn't sleep, so I figured I'd have a drink, and that would help me sleep, make me tired, or, I really don't know why I was there. Everybody's asked me that, and because I went out. Yeah.
You had a right to be there.
And so then I got drunk, and I know that I left there with them.
These are 2 men that you knew? Okay. I'm going to ask some real specific questions because I know